All right. Next up, we have Fijoya. I think this will be really interesting. I know there's a little presentation demo swap here with the IT folks, so we'll let you work through that. But one of the things I know I experienced as a benefits leader and heard from employers as a consultant was how fragmented their benefits ecosystem is and how difficult it is to have engagement. And I think that is the problem that Fijoya is trying to solve with their product. So thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much for having us today, Janet, and the BHCG group and Baird for hosting us. My name is Tim Sherman. I'm the sales director with Fijoya, and I'm here with Moore. She is the VP of payments, so we're really excited to talk to you. What we do at Fijoya is we really focus on the employee experience, right? We want to get them engaged. You all do a lot of work to pull a lot of levers, put in a lot of direct networking, do a lot of things to save on the plan and the spend, and give them a lot of solutions that will make their life easier. And our goal, and you know, at Fijoya, we're backed by AI-powered benefits experience, and our focus really is, you know, to unlock new levels of the employee engagement experience, and we deliver data-driven personalization through our AI outreach with recommendation in real time. And again, it's a seamless experience that brings a whole experience together. We like to say we're kind of like the virtual front door to the entire health and benefits experience. So as we talk today and as more demos the solution, just think about some of these things. You know, the biggest things that we hear about often is, do your employees even know the benefits they have? Do they even remember what they enrolled in 4 months ago during open enrollment? More importantly, where are they going for their answers? You know, what we hear a lot from our HR people and CFOs we talk to is, what's scarier is what you don't know. You don't know what questions they're asking. You don't know where they're looking for guidance or steerage. How confident are you as a team or an organization in the answers that they're finding? And how often does the confusion turn into HR outreach, miscare, or even frustration? So it reduces utilization and engagement with your employee population. Kind of the engagement gap we're solving for employers are 3 areas, right? Benefits underutilization. Again, you put a lot of levers, a lot of solutions in to not only drive down the cost of healthcare, but make it easier for them to access their healthcare and benefits. Employer decision-making, really a lot of confusion. They don't know where to go. There's a lot of great things that they have access to, but most employees don't know about it. They don't know how to access it, nor do they want to spend the time accessing it. And then finally, HR administrative burden. You know, we hear a lot of HR teams spend an excessive and an inordinate amount of time trying to answer questions or guiding employees where to go to even simply just get their medical ID card. And oftentimes you get that call, hey, I'm at the doctor's, where's my medical ID card? I need it now, right? So the whole point is really just not only simplifying the benefits access, but empowering employees to make decisions simple on the spot when they need to, and reducing the HR workload for better benefits engagement and utilization experience. So HR is, oh, that's not loading. But so the solution for Fijoya was really built on a modular benefits engagement platform. We are mobile led, we do have a website, but the goal is to be in the hands of the employee at all times. When we talk about a modular benefits engagement platform, for you all, what that means is you don't have to replace everything you've already put in. It's not a rebuild. Our goal is to build around, support what you have, and enhance, right? So as you grow, as you bring in new things and other point solutions, you can bring in Fijoya, because our AI assistant is going to really help enhance that experience. And our goal is just to make it easier for employees to be able to access their coverage, ask questions, and get direct answers, and then get actionable items. And the way we really do that is we also focus on benefits communication and engagement. With the benefits communication, we want to make sure that not only are we communicating on the benefits that are available to them when we're answering questions, but we're providing that next step. We're providing that steerage and that navigation to the programs that you're already incorporated with the direct network pricing, with all of the cost-saving initiatives you've rolled out. We also believe communication is key. We've talked to a lot of HR leaders, and they either have a really good communication setup, but they don't know how to roll it out, or they have not built a great communication setup, and they're just kind of relying on the employees to engage with the app. But what we find is by delivering a solid communication strategy, whether it be pinpointing certain employees, whether they're 50 and over to make sure they're getting their colonoscopies, which are covered, or females 40 and over to make sure they're getting their cancer screenings. It's really about reaching out and being able to singularize the communication or the engagement experience. The one thing that we have found that has been really big is our policy to payment. Integrating Fijoya's AI digests contracts. It looks at policies with payment infrastructure, and it creates a smart administration of the direct provider cash payments. It does automatic eligibility, which has been determined based on the employer and provider direct contracting that's already been set up. And we're able to do that member coverage eligibility on the spot. We're able to do automatic payment substantiation based on the contract's criteria, invoice, and additional defined requirements. So you define it. We work with your partners who are already handling that, but we provide the automatic substantiation for the required payment. And we do a generation of a payment card. So we provide that card for them to provide that payment directly to the provider for those bundled services or those cost savings. Moore's going to show you more of that. Again, that's really what she's specialized and built out for us. For employers, it's key because it's the preferred pricing, lower healthcare costs, and because we're able to drive and engage with them, we're able to highlight that they have those services available. For the employees, it's a consumer-like experience. It's very easy to navigate. It's very easy to utilize. And then there's immediate billing. There's immediate payment, so there's no billing. There's no collections. There's no confusion. It's super easy for the employees. And we, again, just want to reiterate, we built this technology to support employees, right? We believe engagement is the biggest gap, often with getting all of these things to flow the way you want to. And we have infused AI at every level, from back-end automation of taking all of the contracts, all of the policies, enabling rapid configuration, all the way to the front end, which is where our AI assistant connects directly with the employee when they're asking questions or they're needing that steerage. And it's market leading flexibility because we're able to, like I said, build around. The whole thing is to be modular. We're able to be very customizable, and we're fluid throughout the year. So as you need to make adjustments or bring new things in, we can do that. And we're not here to nickel and dime as we build that out for you. And then really the way we built this is we want to make sure that it is easy for you all to implement. We don't do implementation load on you all. We handle all of that by getting all the documentation. We do focused pilot launches. We want to make sure that we can start small if that's what you're looking to do. Really focus on these targeted pilot programs to validate solution impact with employees with minimal risk, and then build from there. Modular implementation, I already talked about. It reduces the load and the burden on you all as an HR team on everything that you need to do, or as consultants. I know there's some consultants in this room. We take all that bear and brunt on up front. And then, like I talked about, that rapid configuration and iteration, right? We can build as we go too. We can adjust, we can pivot. If there's things you want to add or you want to enhance or moderate, we can do that very, very simple. And then once you see what you want, or we have what you want in place, what you want it built, we can scale fast, right? We can grow very, very fast. And with that, we're going to get into the demo, because I think once you see how this works, it's more powerful.
Let's see. All right. Can you see? Perfect. So what you're looking at right now is the Fijoya employee app. So we're looking at Emily's app, and I'll take you through some of it. As Tim mentioned, we have two main parts to our app. The first one is the one front door to all your benefits, to really understand and explore and know what you have. And the second one is the AI assistant, where you can go and ask all your questions. We'll deep dive into each and every one of them. And while we're doing it, again, keep in mind, this is very modular. So each employer can choose whatever parts that is relevant for their workforce or for their needs. And also you will see throughout the app that it's branded Fijoya, but it definitely and easily can be white labeled and be branded for the for the employer's brand. All right, so let's start. The first part is the one-stop shop for all your benefits. I can see here in the home page that first and foremost I have my plans. So everything that I enrolled to, I have all my plans. I can go into one of them, see the different information, what's my contribution, what's my member ID, look at the card. And my favorite option here is to send the card to the provider really easily. So you see, I press this little button and then I can just enter an email and send the card to the provider. So that's very useful. Going back to the homepage, the next thing I have is targeted communication, those little story-like squares. So instead of mass emails that never works because you get bombarded with information, and we always talk about how do you know what you have. So in here we have targeted, personalized, relevant communication based on what we know about Emily from what we got from the employer, but also what Emily chose to share with us. So at the beginning, when you download the app and you do the initial onboarding, we have an optional questionnaire. You can share your health situation, health journey, whatever goals you have, and we will use that. This is of course optional, but I think it's a good time to stop and say that at Fijoya we take privacy and security really seriously. We're SOC 2 Type 2, we're HIPAA compliant, we're GDPR compliant, so employees can feel very comfortable sharing with us. And in this case, Emily shared that she's dealing with diabetes, so again, we can press it, see some targeted communication about managing diabetes, different services that she's entitled to, and easy access to those. Yeah, what happened here? Oh, yeah, sorry. It was, sorry. Another example is something that are important for the HR team. So let's say it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and because Emily is a female over 40, we want her to see this campaign that her employer set up for her. So we can see some information about breast cancer awareness, and we can be very, very proactive about our employees' health journey and help her schedule her free mammogram and get her going there. So that's also good. The next part is, just exploring benefits, and based on what we know about Emily and her behavior and everything that we have in our systems, we can recommend the best benefits for her. I mean, what's relevant for her, things that she's entitled to, things that she's already enrolled to, and really help her make the most out of her benefit stack. And the next part is even a to-do list with things that she might want to achieve in order to be on top of her health. And again, engaging with the employee and making sure that they're on top of their benefits and they're making the most of it. This is the first part, and now I want to move to the second part. So as Tim mentioned at the beginning, two major things that we're worried about. First of all, that the employees know what they have? But the second, where do they go with their question, and how do we make sure that they get accurate answers? And this is where our AI assistant goes into play. You can see I'll press the purple button with the magnifying glass. And this is our AI assistant. We feed our AI assistant with all the relevant documents. So health plans, SPDs, employee benefits, we can integrate with HRIS. So everything that's relevant, our AI tech scans everything and really learns it. It goes into our closed system. So again, it's not out there, it's not in the internet. And we can give relevant, accurate, non-generic, no hallucinations. So the right answers for every question regarding, by the way, everything HR, everything benefits, and everything about your health plan. So I will just go to the chat I had with it just now because I want it to be quicker. And let's go over the question. We can add more afterwards. The first example I have here is that how am I covered for dermatology? So, a straightforward question, and I see that, the AI assistant tells me, how am I covered? How much will it cost in network? It tells me that, out of network, it will be a different cost. So again, steering me to make the best decisions for me. It shows me that I also have an option for a virtual care that might cost less. And then I have quick actions that I can take, like find a provider or look at my member card, etc. But it can be even more ambiguous. So maybe I have this question, I'm feeling depressed. Maybe I don't even know where to start or what is it that I'm asking here. And I like this example because, first of all, the word depressed does not appear in the health plan, in the document. So our AI actually needs to be intelligent, understand what you are saying and what can help you. And also, this is something that I might not feel, or Emily might not feel comfortable sharing with her HR team. So sometimes it's even easier to ask those kind of questions, this AI, which is not, someone that you know. So again, the AI assistant look at all of the different benefits in our stack and can give Emily the best answer for her. So first of all, it will tell her that she is entitled for Lyra Health. So she has 10 free mental health sessions. And then, if she needs more, what is covered through her PPO, other resources that she might find relevant. And I also like the fact that it starts with this empathy and feeling sorry for her and try to work on it together. Again, we have those quick actions that you can take. So it's very responsive and you can continue the discussion. Another example I wanted to show is maybe managing someone else's, my dependent care health. If Emily is lucky like me, I had this experience a few months ago with my son and he broke his leg. And I have to say, my initial, instinct was to rush him to the ER. But when I asked the AI assistant about it, they say, okay, you can take him to the ER. It will cost $150, but you also can take them to urgent care, and that will cost $50. So you have all your options in front of you, and it also tells you how much other services that you might get cost. So if you have an X-ray or if you need some kind of equipment or ambulance. So I have all my information, so I'm not going there, without knowing what will happen. Another thing that I really like about it, that it reminds you that you also have accident insurance, and you might be, able to get payout and to get some funds to, to cover all those bills. So again, very, very nice and very, it helped me to know what's the next step for me. We talked about the fact that the answers are very specific and not generic. So I tried to ask, what is my 401k contribution? And again, the answer was right for me and not for any other employee in my team. So my contribution is 1,600, and it shows me, how is it billed, and if I want to change it, what do I need to do? So again, it goes with you and it helps you. I can ask how many vacation days do I have left or whatever, you ask HR, so everything is there. The final thing I want to show you before we move to questions is what Tim was mentioning, the policy to payment. So we know that there are in many cases, and more increasingly so, employers will want to carve out some of the medical services and directly contract with a provider, with a health provider. And it was important for us to enable this journey as well, and to make sure that this is super smooth and that we take care of it end to end, including payment. So not only just knowing where to go, but enabling cash pay model. So I have an example here. Let's say I write I need a knee repair. So the AI knows that for knee repair, my employer is contracted with a specific provider. So immediately it gives me the information that I have a special flat price bundle with Montefiore, which is a health center in the New York area. This is how much it will cost. This is what will be part of this bundle. And maybe Emily wants to learn a bit more about this Montefiore because the employer chose it for her. So I press tell me more about Montefiore, and then I get some information, regional ranking, national recognition. So I get more comfortable with this decision. And then when I want to move forward, I can upload my referral. I press this button, upload the referral, and then, as Tim mentioned, Fijoya looks at the referral, the AI scans it, does the substantiation, and then says, great, you are authorized to do it. You can see exactly where to go. And then I can also, sorry, I have this thing bothering me. I can press view my corporate card, and then right on the spot, we are issuing a virtual card that you can use, loaded with exactly this amount, or more accurately, limited to this amount for you to use only at this provider. So you're able to now just take this card and pay at the provider site. That's it. No billing, no need to finance and then get reimbursed. So everything is super smooth and you're ready to go. That's it, I think. If you have any questions, something that you want to see, please go ahead.
Can that payment also be issued by someone other than a member, like a TPA that's looking for an additional payment option? Or does it have to be done by the member?
We can integrate with TPAs for sure. It's not a problem for us. I mean, if you have a process in place, we can be embedded in this process. So definitely.
Do you have a desktop version too?
Yeah, we do. We know that a lot of employees find it easier to do it on desktop, and also we found out that they work with our solutions a lot of time during working hours. So definitely we have a desktop solution. Just love the app so much, so I like showing it.
So when you mentioned that it's modular, if somebody's, like you said before, they've spent a lot of time getting registrations on their website, you can actually come in if they just want the AI assistant?
Yeah, again, the AI assistant is a very strong tool, and we can give it as the solution. I mean, altogether, if you want just the AI assistant, if you want it to be, part of your other systems, that's not a problem. Also in desktop, it can be added. So,
yeah, and to touch on that, we're not trying to replace anything. We're trying to enhance, right? We know it is a lot of work to replace things. It's also, in my experience, because I've done this for 6 years in the engagement space, a relatively low investment for you as an employer to add this on. Again, it's building an enhancement, and it's adding to your benefit flow, your benefit operation. The whole goal is just to increase engagement, utilization, and then support. And with the policy to payment, to me, is one of the biggest things we do, because again, we're supporting that direct contracting. We're making it easier for employees and their spouses and their dependents to get care and save money doing it, right? Because like I said, you pulled all those levers. So our goal is to just make it easy and accessible, and we can integrate with whoever you're working with as far as TPA partner, direct contracting partners, whatever that may look like. Again, it's to be super easy. Now, let's say you say, hey, we're going to pay for half of this procedure, or we might pay for all of it. The way we'll set it up is it'll say, hey, of the $2,600, your employer has said they'll pay for $1,300. And then not only can you upload your own card, again, we are SOC 2 certified, it's all secured, but you could use the employer's card to pay for the $1,300, and then you can use your own card to pay for the other $1,300. Again, this works, as you all know, because the sooner the provider gets paid, the lower they're willing to go, and generally the better care and the better post-follow-up care that they get. So a lot of employees don't know they have access to these programs unless they're constantly being hounded by it. And again, like I said, what's scarier is you don't know what you don't know, because employees are afraid to ask those questions. And so this really bridges the gap. It's not a high lift, it's not a high cost, and we build as you go, right? We support this as you go. Our goal is really to bring in what you need to bring in. It's not to bring in everything, but the biggest thing we've been seeing is the AI assistant, and it's been the policy to payment, which is truly unique. Because with our AI assistant, it's that front end and that back end. It's a dual integration, which a lot of our players in this space are really just front end.
You know, thinking about these kinds of solutions and total rewards, kind of outside of that benefit space, one of the challenges I think that has been out there is garbage in, garbage out, right? So how and do you support employers in, you know, kind of looking at their HR and benefits policies and documentation, whether that's in, you know, a Workday solution or a SharePoint solution, what have you, to actually get that to a point where the AI can make the best use of it and really direct employees and relieve that administrative burden?
Yes. So the answer is yes, we can integrate with all that. Our AI is taking all that information in, and then it is doing that steerage and navigation directly for the employee based on what they're interacting with or what we see. And we're getting a lot of information as well, so we're able to direct that employee ahead of time. So if we know that they've gone to the orthopedist, we know we're able to direct them to the centers of excellence for imaging or direct contract for lower cost for imaging, lab work, and then work with your direct contracts. And like we have a client that works with Langton, right? So we steer them and navigate them directly to Langton providers. We show the upfront pricing and we help them.
And do you, like, let's take an example of kind of smart AI. Are you thinking about, you know, maybe I'm an employee and I've looked for an OBGYN, or I'm, you know, starting that journey to having a baby. Do you then actually, does the AI smart enough to look at the HR kind of ecosystem and say, hey, you have maternity leave or paternity leave, and kind of funnel you in there so you're getting your paperwork in on time, your questions are answered, and those types of situations?
Exactly, and that's a great question. So that's one of the things that we can do. And so part of the answer to the question on the my son broke his leg, right? So not only do we highlight the options, but we highlight the accident, and then we're going to do follow-up, and we're going to say, hey, how's your son doing? Did you take care of it? Did you file a claim with your accident insurance, right? Do you need help filing that claim? We will guide them and direct them where they can go download the claim form, and then they can go do that, right? So they can get the money for that.
And also to your question, we see all the HR policies, everything you choose to share with us, and we know how to direct employees so they can have a quick action saying, okay, so fill in those forms and send it to HR. So those quick actions buttons are really useful for those kind of things. And we can ask about how many days am I entitled to have for my maternity leave, and then this will be the next stage. And also something about your first question, you as an employer, you don't need to now look at all your files and policies. Some of them are in Workday, some of them are in the portal. You don't need to work for us and start, making sense out of them and putting them in a specific order. No, just load everything. We will take care of it. This is part of what our AI assistant does. So the system is able to do it.
Yeah, and to answer, and I know we're almost done here, but just to answer a full scope of that that question you asked. So if someone tells us that they're pregnant and they're looking for all of the coverage that they have, not only will we highlight their maternity leave or paternity leave, not only will we highlight the solutions or the care, the direct bundled care that they have access to, but we're also going to check in with them to make sure that we know when they're having the baby. And once they have the baby, we're reminding them, fill out the dependent form, add them to your plan, and do those kinds of things. Because again, employees forget, they're not thinking about those things in the moment. And the whole key of the AI is not only to answer questions, but it's really steering, navigating the whole ecosystem of your benefits. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.